Today's episode is brought to you by Mazars.
SoundCartel.
From SoundCartel, I'm Nicole Goodman, and this is Business Essentials Daily. Isn't it always the way? You're just in the middle of something that demands your attention and the phone rings, or a message pops up on your computer screen, or there's a knock at the door. The good news is you don't have to let it happen at all. Believe it or not, you can control the interruptions throughout the day, says Les Watson, aka the Time Lord. After all, interruptions can have a huge impact on your productivity, as Les explains to Chris Ashmore.
You need to understand interruptions for a start. Like, what interrupts you? What are the things that interrupt your day? We're going along and we've got a set things to do and something comes out of left field and interrupts you. Now, it could be a person, it could be a distraction. Interruptions, distractions, still an interruption. So notice where it is in your life that you are being interrupted. And if they are physical things, you can do something with that and put them away. Social media, for example.
Well, interruptions, they happen throughout the day. Is it possible to limit the interruptions?
It is. You can do a couple of things. The first one is, if you're in a busy environment, actually put an indicator that you are busy, that you're not interruptible. And it could be a flag, could be a hat on your head, it could be anything like that. It's like, what is it that would indicate to somebody that you're not disruptible, that you want the quiet time? And it can be as simple as just putting a flag on your cubicle. It could be closing your door, or it could be putting a hat on your head that actually says to people, no, I'm working on something rather important. Leave me alone. And you need a communication in the office that lets people know that that is the standard. It's like, if I've got this hat on or if my flag is up, then please leave me alone. I'm working on something. And people will leave you alone.
What's the 2-minute rule?
If something is coming in and it can be handled within 2 minutes, then handle it. So if someone interrupts, and you can actually check, what is it? Because sometimes what they've got is more important than what you're working on. It's like, I've got a brief to the Prime Minister and therefore can I interrupt? Yes, you can. However, if you can handle it in 2 minutes, it really does enable you to get it out of the road and you get back in. The other side of that is, by having an interruption, it's probably, some would say, around 23 minutes to get back to a full focus. So you need to dictate what it is specifically for you. Is an interruption worth it or not worth it to get you back on track?
How do we go about training ourselves on managing interruptions?
It's self-discipline. As I said, the first thing that is yourself, but the other thing is communication to others in the office. So you need to look at what your environment is with people that are constant interrupters. Excuse me, Chris, have you got 5 minutes? And you know it's not going to take 5 minutes. So one of the things you can say is no, and people don't like saying no. It's like, no, what was I? Oh, really? I need to say yes to everybody. I'm a people pleaser. I would like to look after people. What do you mean I need to say no? Well, one of the ways of saying no happens to be, show me what you've got, and that's not appropriate right now, or that doesn't work for me right now. Can we book a meeting for, let's say, 3:30 this afternoon? Or can we take that to tomorrow and handle it tomorrow at 9 a.m.? It's really important. I want to handle it, but not just now.
There is so much for leaders across industries to manage today, so don't feel like you're alone. There's a great resource actually called Leading Conversations. It's a podcast from leading teams, and it shines a light on the kinds of issues that impact performance, eat away at culture, and how they helped to turn things around. There's 3 full seasons of Leading Conversations available, so start listening at leadingteams.net.au/podcast, or it's free wherever you listen to podcasts.
When someone interrupts you, it's kind of like social media, when you're on social media and a little thing comes up and you go, oh, what's that? That's a bit of a dopamine hit. The same with interruptions in a way. Someone says, oh, have you got a minute? You think, oh, wow, what's something new, something shiny? What's going on? But you got to push against that and just keep concentrating on what you're supposed to be doing.
bright, shiny object or butterfly. Oh, look, a butterfly. So that opportunity to be distracted by something takes you out of the day or out of the moment. Whereas by focusing on the task that's in front of you enables you to get it done. There's a technique called the Pomodoro technique, which is 25 minutes on and 5 minutes off. And there's a Pomodoro, which is Italian for tomato. It's a little tomato-shaped red timer. And it literally tick, 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 tick for 25 minutes. So you're actually hearing this audible sign of, I've got work to do and I'm focused on this one task for 25 minutes. Then at the end of the 25 minutes, the timer goes off and you're able to walk away from that task, go and give yourself a reward, whether it be a cup of tea, cup of coffee, a walk around the office, and then come back and go again. So that is a self-discipline, doesn't necessarily handle other people, but it does give you the chance to be focused on the one task for 25 minutes.
If we flip things around, Les, some people listening may actually be the interrupters, especially those who are supposed to be the boss. We need to be cognizant of not interrupting other people also. Is that right?
It is, and I love this one because my wife does it to me all the time. And then when she said, I do it to you, I went, oh, wait a minute, I do it to you as well. She's a writer, so she has her own set of things that she needs to get done. But in her excitement, she'll rush into the office, knock on the door and go, I've got something I need to show you. I've got something I've just discovered. And she'll interrupt. Then, by me being aware that this is a particular thing, I went, wait a minute, I do that to you as well. I'll have that excitement, that dopamine hit of something that I found that I go, I need to tell my wife. So I race out of my office and go to her office and do the same thing. So again, it's that awareness of, are you an interrupter? Do you have the ability to just step back and look at your own work life and go, do I interrupt others? Because if you become aware of it, it enables you to stop it. Therefore, other people can get productive, and also you become more aware of those people around you that interrupt you.
That was the Time Lord, Les Watson. Business Essentials Daily is a SoundCartel podcast. Producers are Nick Schildberger, Chris Ashmore, Jeff Waters and myself. Technical production by Pete Letts. I'm Nicole Goodman. Thanks for listening. We'll bring you more Be Daily next week. SoundCartel. This episode was brought to you by Mazars. To find out more, visit mazars.com.au. That's mazars.com.au.